All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the First United Methodist Church of Loomis, our weekly podcast. And we were just talking stupid.
We always do.
We do. Welcome to our week. We're a day behind because yesterday my day job took priority. So we are a day behind. So I apologize for that. But my name is Ray Fisher. I'm the music director. And this is our Deacon of Christian Education, Melanie Oliver. Say hi, Melanie.
Hello, everybody. I heard you pause before you gave my title.
Oh, I had to think for a second.
I want to know what was going through your head.
So, our pastor, Allison Berry, what we were talking about. So Allison's late. She forgot that we were recording today at 11, so she's on her way. And she'll join us. Yeah, she'll join us midstream. And but I was telling Melanie, I said, it's really sad that there is not technology that we can carry in our pockets or something that would remind us of appointments.
A tiny mini computer or something.
Exactly. That's even stronger than more powerful than the computers that took us to the moon in 1969.
That's a scary and exciting thought.
I know. But welcome to our podcast this week. It's Friday for us. We're recording on Friday, and I'm really happy. It's Friday. I also we've had so much going on at the church, and I got my first two songs from my album back, and I was sharing part of that with Melanie, and I'm really excited.
It's so amazing.
And I got my album cover photo back, and I'm like, there's so much going on. So
yeah, very exciting.
And then Martin and I were talking about his stuff. His CD is all mixed now, so
That's
it's
awesome.
just a lot going on. So let's talk. Last Sunday, first Sunday of Lent,
Yes.
service was good. I thought it was powerful. I was trying to look back, and so I had to look twice. So our call to worship, when I was putting the script together, the call to worship, we pull it from the lectionary, the church lectionary, or the Methodist lectionary. And I was looking at it, and I was putting the script together for this week, and I was like, wait, it's the same call to worship. Oh my gosh. No, it's not. It's very similar, but it starts every week. Welcome, pilgrims, on the way to the cross.
Oh, because of Lent.
Follow Jesus.
Yeah, they're going the Lent theme.
So, but I thought the service was great. Bonnie and Jerry Llewellyn, they sang How Beautiful. And that is just an amazing song to begin with. But Bonnie's voice was on point last week. So was Jerry's, and I thought it went well. The choir did Lord, Listen to Your Children as a prelude into our Joys and Concerns time. The scripture was the temptation of Christ in the wilderness, the 40 days in the wilderness. And I thought Allison actually did a really good job pulling that story together. I don't know if you had a chance to go back and watch the live stream.
I haven't. This week has been insanely busy, so I haven't. I'll watch it this weekend.
Well, yes, and I wish you would just find more things to do, because you need a pastime. And
all good stuff, though. I'm not complaining.
No.
Just a lot.
But Tuesday, you had your Taizé service with Martin at the church, and I heard it was a great success. How did you feel?
We got a lot of positive feedback, and we had Pat also to lead us in the song that his son Gabe wrote, "Be Still," that he's led it, in worship before and in Costa Rica. And we got positive responses, and people want us to continue. So we're happy to keep doing that every Tuesday at noon through Lent. It's me. You and I were talking before we started recording that it's almost impossible to not be moved by Taizé. Yeah. It's very intentionally, like you were saying, it kind of forces you to kind of focus in and take a breath for a minute. So that's what I love about it.
And in, modern times, that's very hard to do. It's very hard to find that time for yourself to commune with God, to center your spirit and find that peace. And I have found, and I'm trying to focus really hard on it during Lent and this season, because I don't find that time to bring myself down, stop worrying about everything that's going on outside. And Taizé is a perfect opportunity for that. And
just breathe.
And it's if it wasn't 40 minutes for me to get to church, I would be up there on Tuesdays. But because
we would have been doing this for years.
I can't take a 90-minute break in the middle of my day to drive up there and sit for the service and come back. But it's something definitely that I highly recommend. I'm looking forward to our Maundy Thursday today's service.
Yeah, me too. And something that's a little different about this one is when you and I do Taizé, we do piano, which I love the piano. My dad played piano all growing up, so it feels like home, when I hear the piano. But Martin uses the guitar.
Yeah.
So that's also a separately beautiful way of doing it. I love that guitar music. And so, it'll be fun to do it both ways this year.
Yeah. And I like it. He's learning to play piano too. He's taking piano lessons, and I'm like, stop trying to do it all.
Right? I know he's
calm down,
man. He has time to do everything.
I know.
Although he's crazy busy going from one rehearsal to the next and lessons
and we had a wonderful choir rehearsal last night. We've got some great music coming up for Lent. Some new stuff. Well, new for us. The choir has done them like 25 years ago. We found a couple of pieces, some spirituals. That Give Me Jesus. It's an old hymn.
That one.
We found a wonderful arrangement that we had up in the filing cabinets. So we pulled that. And we got a brand new piece for Easter Sunday that I've never done with the choir. And some of them were like, oh, we remember that from like 1995. So
my gosh.
So let's do it.
That's cool.
So this Sunday, like I said, the call to worship starts with the same welcome pilgrims on the way to the cross. I love this theme thing going on. We're doing a couple of things we don't normally do. Shout to the Lord. We haven't done that in a very long time.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's been at least 5-6 years, I think. Choir anthem is Communion Sunday.
Yep.
So we're doing Welcome Table by Mark Hayes, which is a great piece. It's also a very up-tempo piece that's going to take us into communion. And we also are going to start this Sunday for communion. We're going to start singing the communion responses for the litany.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to give that a try for a while, see how it goes. We've been requested to do that, so we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And we've started singing again during the communion, so we're going to do that this week. And I love the music. Water, River, Spirit, Grace. It's one of my favorite hymns too. So,
we have lots of good music coming up.
Yeah, we do. And I feel, Martin's not afraid to try anything. And
that's great.
I looked at when I was doing choir directing and playing, I would be looking at some of this stuff going, there's no way I can conduct them and play it at the same time.
Yeah.
I'd shy away from some of the more complicated stuff, but having him and I can just sit back and play, it's awesome.
Y'all are a great team.
Yeah. So what's happening with the youth? Do you got anything that's going on you want to talk about?
So much stuff.
Wow.
I'm going to focus on March because it'll be too much information to process, which is great. We have a lot coming up.
And we only have like a 40-minute podcast.
Right, exactly. We have to expand our podcast into the youth podcast. So this week is the Heritage Dinner. And I don't know if you remember, but when I preached in January, I gave a challenge that the Heritage Dinner was to nurture our church. It's a big fundraiser and we celebrate our heritage. It's a wonderful time together, much needed. So we nurture ourselves as a church community. And then the next week, so Sunday, March 12th, we're going to nurture outside the walls of the church. And we are going to pack as many lunches as we sell tickets to the Heritage Dinner. So this is for everybody, not just the youth. Anybody in the church can come. We'll set up in the Life Center on March 12th, right after worship. And we're just going to pack lunches. We'll just make an assembly line and pack a bunch of lunches. Some of them are going to Gathering Inn. Some are going to downtown Sacramento. There's several places that we can share them because there'll probably be over 200, like 224 or 230 or something. Okay. So that will be that Sunday. And then we will talk later in the podcast about the Humanity Bags fundraiser and spaghetti dinner. I'll save that for later.
We have a video for that, so we will share that later. Go ahead.
I'll share that later and let Joss talk about that. One more thing is we already have lots of kids signed up for our summer service trip. And I'm so excited about that. The total cost is $350. Scholarships are available. Will be gone from July 16th through 21st. Now, here's why I'm talking about it in March. The first $50 deposit is due March 15th to hold your spot for SST. So that's why we're talking about it now.
Cool.
Yeah. So I could go on forever about SST. We've had a lot of fun developments, but I'm going to save it.
Oh, so you're just trying to build the anticipation.
I am.
Cool. What else was I going to talk about? We've got so many announcements going on. Kairos Ministry, we are done with the special offering that was for the month of February, but there's still a lot going on, and they need cookies coming up. I think March 12th is the last Sunday to provide it.
Oh, can I jump in real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Last week, the families came and we made cookies and we played games. We made dozens and dozens and dozens of cookies for Kairos. And everybody brought their favorite game. And while the cookies were baking and cooling, the families were all playing games together. It was really fun.
Cool. Sorry, I had to answer. Allison was just texting me. She's trying to get in. She couldn't find the link, so I just sent it to her. She's going to join us in a second.
She'll be here soon.
Yes. And I'll wait for her to get here because I wanted to talk through some of the weekly sermon questions that came out in the Lantern too, and I know that's going to be tying into her sermon for the week. You've already talked about the Taizé service. You had your first book study or lesson book study. How did that go? The Adam Hamilton book, right?
Yeah. We had two. We had one in the evening on Zoom and one in the daytime at 1:00 on Tuesdays, and both were great. When you have a class of people, they genuinely seem to enjoy each other and always have good insights. I learned so much when we do those classes. So yeah, it went really well.
Okay, cool. She just texted back. I got it in my phone. Well, okay. Okay. Let's see what else. Monday night Bible study, 7 to 8 on Zoom. That's Marsha Bush. There's a lot going on. I would highly recommend, because if we go through every single thing that's in the Lantern this week or all the announcements, we'll be on here for an hour and a half.
We will.
So much going on.
So much.
I forget that there's a grief group that meets in the church on Wednesdays at 4:00. We have the Stephen ministers that meet twice a month. We have Wonder Woman and Wonder Workers that meet on Tuesday mornings. There's so much in the way of ministry and supporting the church that you can be involved in. So I would highly recommend, if you don't have the Lantern, sign up, get Sharon to send that to you every week, because there is so much.
So much. If you come to our church on a Tuesday morning, the parking lot is full. There's so much going on. The parking lot is full.
I was there on, I forgot what day. It was like a Monday or Tuesday night a few weeks ago for something, and the parking lot was full. And I was like, maybe it was a Tuesday night. I could not believe how busy the parking lot was.
Yeah, we have so much going on, even outside our church. We have the preschool, the Life Center, we have AA groups that meet, and Gambling Anonymous, several community groups. It's really great.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We were going to try to get a special guest in today, and she could not be with us, but they did record an advertisement, and you were talking about the humanity bags, and this is Jocelyn Goebel.
Who's in school right now at this time?
Yes.
Hard for her to jump on the podcast, darn it, because she's a teenager in school.
But she got up at the church on Sunday. She had just come from soccer match, and bless her heart, I know she had to be tired, and she was still in her outfit. And but she came up and gave a talk about the humanity bags. So her and her mom recorded a little commercial, and we're going to share that. So hang on for a second. We're going to bring that up.
Hi, I'm Sue Goebel.
And I'm Jocelyn Goebel.
And what are we here to talk about today, Joss?
Humanity bags.
Okay, let's get started. So, Joss, you have been very active in the Humanity Bags project. Can you tell us, what are humanity bags?
Yes, so humanity bags are basically neon backpacks that we fill with on-the-go things like toiletries and snacks, so granola bars, toothbrushes, and things like that. And we do it about every 3 months, and we do around 65 bags. And at the end of it all, and once we're done making it, we would deliver it to the Roseville Food Kitchen.
That sounds like great community service work. How did it get started?
Well, Humanity Bags got started by my sister Jolie, and since she did Girl Scouts, she wanted to help out and do community service project with the church and help the food pantry. And this is kind of how Humanity Bags started. And now that she's away at college, I've kind of taken over Humanity Bags, and I'm doing it now. So I'm really excited.
That's great. So I hear there's a really great new fundraising opportunity for Humanity Bags. You want to talk about it?
Yes, so we're doing a pledge drive, and it's going to be throughout the whole month of March, and our goal is to raise $1,500. And basically last year we asked for actual donations like granola bars and toothbrushes, like on-the-go things. But since we asked, like as time went on, we kept asking and the donations kept dropping and dropping. So this year we decided to kind of just go big and ask only once, like one time this year, instead of asking multiple times.
That's probably smart, right? So are there any more important details that anybody needs to know about the pledge drive?
Yes, so basically whenever you make a donation for the Humanity Bags, make sure to check it for Humanity Bags, because every person who donates will write your name on these hearts, and we'll put the hearts in the narthex for everyone to see around the church.
Are you going to try to update people?
Yes, so every Sunday I'm going to try my best to update you on how close we are to raising our goal for Humanity Bags.
Okay, I love the heart. Tell me about the
Yes.
heart.
Well, basically the heart is the logo for the Humanity Bags, actually. And in each Humanity Bag, we add a tag that says, with the heart, that says spreading love and care with Humanity Bags.
Oh, it must mean a lot to you, the heart, too.
Yes, the heart means a lot to me because it shows how much work we put into making the Humanity Bags.
I love it. So I know there's an exciting end to the pledge drive. Do you want to talk about it?
Yes, so on Sunday, March 26th, we're going to have a spaghetti luncheon after the church service, and our youth group will be leading it or hosting it. And you don't have to RSVP, you don't have to buy tickets. We're just asking, or you can give donations at the door. And it's going to be really fun, and we're also going to you'll have a chance to actually fill Humanity Bags.
So I'll be able to fill Humanity Bags?
Yes.
As an adult, I can even help? I
Yeah.
love that idea.
Yes, and also there'll also be a raffle for yummy treats too.
That sounds really fun. Now, so what's the day again?
March 26th, after the church service.
And up in the fellowship hall.
Yes.
Perfect. I can't even wait to go. So also, I know you've put so much time into this and energy, and you're enjoying it. Just for people to know how giving back can make people feel, do you want to touch a little basis on why you do it and how it makes you feel?
Yes. Well, basically, since my family loves doing community service, and I've also helped at the church and done Girl Scouts for my whole life, I feel like it's really made me realize that I love giving back, and I realized that, like, I love making a difference to people in the world.
You love making a difference in people's lives. Yay, yay, Humanity Bags.
Yay.
Okay. Well, bye, right? Bye. Go
Thank you.
Humanity Bags. Bye.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back. You just saw the clip of Jocelyn Goebel, and I am just amazed at some of the young people in our church who lead such ambitious efforts to help
So
people.
lucky.
Yes, it's amazing. I've always said it. Our youth are very service oriented. So
They are, for sure.
and for those who hadn't noticed, our beloved pastor Allison Berry is with us now.
Hello.
Hi, Allison.
She joined while we paused. So we were talking before you got here, Allison, about several things. Number one, I wanted to wait for you to get on so we could talk quickly about the sermon for this week, because we were talking about the service, and the scripture this week is Matthew 17, 1-9. It's the transfiguration of Jesus. And some of the questions that are in the lantern that people should be pondering is, what does it mean? So tell us, what do you think the transfiguration of Jesus is all about?
Let's see. Do we have an
In
hour?
2 minutes.
I mean, I basically, I can talk about what I'm going to focus on, which is, tying into our season of, self-reflection and our theme, for this Lenten season, just a change of perspective. I think if we look at the transfiguration in terms of the Epiphany, what started as a very intimate, private moment for Jesus at the Jordan River with his baptism, where he hears the voice of God say, "You are the beloved." This circle is now expanding where it's shared with friends of Jesus. They identify him as, the beloved of God, and they're just blown away by it. I like to think of it as they have this insight into a totally different reality. And of course they freak out and they want to contain it and build a shelter around Jesus and Moses and Elijah. But it's not about that. It's about seeing God's presence everywhere. And even in their beloved friend who changed before their eyes. Wow. So yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how you connect that. It's one of those things that, to someone who grew up in the church, number one, and the supernatural aspect of the biblical experience, it's one of those things that's always puzzled me, and I'm always curious to see how people are going to talk about it. So,
well, and you know how there are times in your life, like when you have an epiphany or just times when you get this insight into a slightly different reality. I think that's what's going on here. The friends of Jesus are able to see what Jesus knew and what some at his birth knew. His mother knew he was special. Jesus at his baptism found out he was special. And then that circle just keeps growing wider.
Their aha moment.
Yes, their aha moment. Exactly.
So, and then what's happening, because you're doing a Lenten series study, a book study too, the book Awe.
Yes.
So how's that going? Because I know you started that last week, right?
Yes, it's going great. Just a lot of good questions. The writer of the book grew up in Penryn, and what inspired him partly to write the book was his brother died of colon cancer. And so the times where he felt healed in his grief were when he revisited some of the places and memories that he shared with his brother. And those places were places of beauty, or, where he shared those aha or awe moments with his brother. And in revisiting those places, he was able to heal from his grief. And the book is about learning how to practice those awe moments every day, everywhere, because they occur in the ordinary. You could see hummingbirds or butterflies, and you just have this experience of awe that maybe you get goosebumps or your spine tingles. And if we practice on those every day, it changes us physiologically, spiritually, and all that.
Awesome. I know I can look at a sunset.
Yes.
And just go, wow. Or sitting on the beach. Yes. I could sit on the beach for hours and not focus on anything but the sound of the waves. And actually, my friend Anne-Marie and I used to go, and we probably will again, hopefully, used to go camping at Bodega Bay, and we would be right on the beach.
Yes.
And we would sleep there, and I would have the best sleep of my entire life listening to the waves. And only be 30 feet from the ocean.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, nature is just one way we experience awe, as well as music and visual arts. Any number, there are 8 that he describes, but the most profound is what he calls moral beauty. And it's when you experience like two competing athletes from, hugging each other at the Olympics, or, an inspiring presidential speech, where you're just, just seeing people do good things, like a stranger helping someone in need. Those are the most profound moments of awe, and he calls it moral beauty.
Yeah.
Teenagers who are heading up service projects.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's close to you, Melanie. You see it all the time.
Oh, I tear up all the time at church, all the time. I'm not a big crier, but man, at church, when those teenagers say or do something, they're not even trying to be profound and they just are. Oh,
yeah. Well, I get that a lot from everybody in our church. I mean, some people can come talk to me, and just the way they share their experience at the church and the overwhelming kindness and love that they find at Loomis First United Methodist Church, it moves me to tears sometimes. So Martin being new at the church, he said the same thing many times. He'll tell his mom who he's on his way to church to get some love. I think that's great, because that perfectly describes my experience at Loomis First United Methodist.
Yeah.
Well, and especially having been there this morning and just seeing how many people are preparing this meal. It's crazy. All the teams of people cooking to honor our heritage.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I haven't been since 2015, I think, was the last time I was at the Heritage Dinner. So it was either the first or second year that they stopped with the Oriental Food Bazaar and moved to the dinner at the fellowship hall. So, speaking of Martin, he's got a concert coming up on the 18th and 19th at the Sophia Theater on 2700 Capitol Avenue with the Master Singers, and I think he has finally confirmed that he has a solo.
Yay!
That's the word on the street.
I think he has confirmed
it. We should invite Martin to join us next week.
Oh, for this? Yeah, we should. I know he's going to be missing one choir rehearsal for that too, because they have a rehearsal for that concert, I think, on the 16th. So
okay, are you guys going to be there tonight? Oh no, that was last night. You had
last night. Yeah.
I'm sorry, my days are all screwed up.
Yeah, I know. I was telling everybody when we started that we had to push the recording out a day because my work schedule got crazy this week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about other than there was a video that was forwarded out from the Council of Bishops, and I watched it. I wasn't expecting anything. I was honestly, I'm going to be very blunt in my assessment right now. When I got the email, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be politicians, blah, 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 and more blah, blah. And I clicked on it, and I sat there, and I was watching it, and I was working in the background, and I had to stop work and just focus on it. So they were talking about the disaffiliation that's going on within the United Methodist Church, and to hear some pundits put it, the church is splitting down the middle and so many people are leaving. And when I do actual research and look at it, we've got about 10% of our churches leaving the denomination. They're going to the Global Methodist Church. And
Larry Pearson had a really good point. He says, this is a splinter, not a split.
Yes.
Yeah. And I thought that is a really healthy way of saying that, because it seems so devastating because it's so big.
Yeah.
But you're right. 10% is a splinter, not a split.
And you hear so many people who are leaving talk bad about those who are staying, and vice versa. And I mean, I've even heard some people say to those who are leaving, well, we still need to love our enemies, but why are we saying love our enemies? We disagree. Does not mean they're our enemies, number one. But we do disagree on certain issues. We still need to show love and grace and compassion. And I'm sorry, what is his name? Who did the video? I'm
Bishop Thomas Bickerton.
Yes.
He's the chair of the Council of Bishops. So he's like the highest office in the United Methodist Church.
And I cannot remember his name.
And thank you, Melanie, for sending out the link.
Yeah. I was super excited. I was kind of like Ray. I was like, if this is a bunch of mush mouth,
Yes.
I'm going to be so frustrated, because the UMC hasn't really come out as strong as the Global Methodist Church. And so I was very, very thrilled. Actually, I teared up.
Yes, me too.
Watching his message, because it was so smart and so grace-filled and said exactly who we are at the UMC. And I was just super impressed with him. Yeah. And I think it's funny that while all this is going on, his last name is Bickerton. It's like the council elected him and went, let's put him in.
It's and I mentioned it too. One of my sermons a year or two ago, whenever I spoke, I talked about how we seem sometimes ashamed to share our perspective on this whole issue that's causing the splinter. And I think that he put a fire under his message that said, stop being distraught about it. Stop feeling like, we need to withdraw. We need to be, we need to reclaim the whole mantle.
Yeah, I love his point about beloved community.
Yes.
And he just talked about that's what we're called to be, a beloved community.
Yes. And be proud. Stand up for your beliefs. I'm really at that point being the get off my lawn age that I am. I'm at that point now. I call out things that I feel are bigoted in any way, are unkind, are not truthful. I feel like that's the point. I'm like, no, that's crap. And that filter that I used to have between here and here is going like this. So, but I try always to do it in a loving and caring way, but also just to say, my opinion is valid. And that's exactly what I got from him yesterday.
Hey, Ray, you're a Trekkie.
Yes, I am.
Me of the Nuns of Candor. Those nuns that are unfiltered.
Yes.
They say exactly what's on their mind.
Yes. Yes, they are.
But Ray, that's a really good point, because I think that's hard for those of us who are going, okay, we have to react with love. And those leaving are our Methodist brothers and sisters, and we love you. And yet we have the moral difference. It's not just we don't agree about how to do baptism or how to do worship. It's like something that we feel like is going against our moral compass. And so it's very hard to be loving, when we feel like for lack of a better term, other side is basing their beliefs off something that isn't loving. It makes it so difficult to go, okay, they are doing their best, we're doing our best. It's just a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
It's so much deeper than that. And so I think it makes it extra hard for us to be gracious when at the core, the division can be hate-filled and hurting and harming. And
when you feel that passionate about, when you feel that passionate about a certain issue, it's hard not to be aggressive at times with it. And that's one of the things I'm learning. I keep trying to figure out why you two look so clear today. I forgot I got new glasses yesterday. I was just like, wow, you guys look great today.
Okay, I wish I did not look so clear. I was running in here from being at the church.
You know what I'm glad you didn't say? I got new glasses. Man, y'all have aged.
So, cool. But I wanted to bring that up because if you're listening and you have not had a chance to look at that video, take a look at it. It changed my entire perspective yesterday. I was actually smiling at the end of it.
Yeah.
I was in tears during parts of it, but don't get me wrong. At the end of it, I got okay. My spirit's uplifted.
I kind of cheered after it was over. I was like, yay!
Yeah. So go watch it. So Allison, you missed a lot. Is there anything you want to share before we move on into joys and concerns?
No, just I think just how grateful I am that our calendar is so full. I know it makes us all crazy at times, but I just think of some of the poor churches that are struggling and trying to get their energy and mojo back after COVID. And it's like, I feel like we're so blessed to be in this amazing community with a lot happening.
And I know
and a lot of that is you too. I mean,
a lot of it's you too.
Well,
you as well.
I think we're all just doing a lot, and thank goodness.
And I know we shut down a lot longer than other churches did. We went a little over a year. But I don't ever feel like the church really lost its mojo. Do you know what I mean? We adapted.
Yes.
And we kept people engaged, and we reached out, and yes, it was hard, and we had a hard time starting back up because a lot of people didn't want to come back when we started. Some people still watch streaming, but I don't ever feel like the church lost its guiding principles. I think the church said, okay, we got to do this. Let's just go forward and grace and compassion and trusting in God. And that's exactly what they did. So that's exactly what we did. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, we together like just found ways to just figure out a way forward.
Yep. And when I say that's what we did, I'm talking about us as a church, because I need to put myself in there. Sometimes I don't. It's all of us. We came together and we made this happen with me, you, Melanie, Butch, everybody at the church. And people would go in and decorate the church just so it would look nice on camera.
Yeah, worship team would get in there and decorate even though no one was in there.
And we had people singing stuff at home on their headphones so that we could edit video together. We had so many people come together and try to contribute during that time. That just says a lot about us as a church. When you're talking about a lot of other churches losing their mojo, I don't think we ever did. I'm really happy about that. Very proud of that fact. So
I think we are privileged because of our resources. And I'm talking about bodies, financial, campus. We have so many resources. And so shame on us if we didn't make it through.
Yes.
Okay? We have so many gifted people in 100 different ways doing behind the scenes things. We have a wonderful campus. We're doing well financially. So I think our challenge now is, given that we have this plethora of resources, how are we going to include other people in that?
Yes.
The churches around us that are struggling, how can we partner up? How can we, and share our resources? Because that's really what it's about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have this wonderful kettle of goodness. So it's our job now to find a way to include others in that.
Oh, and you were talking about the Tuesday service. We should be the Tuesday service that's ongoing. That would be a great opportunity for people to come be a part of that.
And it was a great, what I've heard is I had Bible studies, so I couldn't go, but everybody raved about it.
Yeah. I heard great things. Martin said it went really well, and they're going to continue all through Lent. So,
and I was telling Ray earlier, Allison, that Tuesday speaks for itself, right? I mean, it's such a unique and precious, especially in Lent, style of worship. It's hard to not be moved by Tuesday. It's meaningful.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we go into joys and concerns? We have a few today, not a great deal, but a few, and some important ones. But go ahead. Anything else you want to bring up?
No, I think I'm good.
So Martin's mom, our choir director, Martin Beal, his mom went back into the hospital. They've got some health concerns, and he was explaining it to me last night. I won't go into detail, but it's stuff they need to, there's going to be very hard to come up with a treatment plan for. The McCoog's daughter, Vanessa, she's being induced on March 10th for her first baby. Polly Dye's daughter-in-law, Peggy, has a prolapsed colon and is traveling from Idaho to Salt Lake City for surgery.
Oh,
yes. That came up in Bible study. And just other concerns too. And just concerns for the family because, they're primary caregivers for their son.
For Patrick.
And for Patrick. And so it's just, when one of them goes down, it's hard for the entire family.
And because of Patrick's situation, they've had a hard time getting care for him.
Yes.
So Linda Kennedy's sister Kathy's grandson is having brain surgery next Monday.
Yes.
The Ransfords asked for prayers for Diane Pierce, daughter-in-law Kelly, her mother. She's been recently diagnosed with glioblastoma and has experienced a severe brain bleed. So prayers for the doctors and the family in this difficult time. The Connors' friend John was recently diagnosed with lung cancer. Sorrows, Frank Bailey's brother passed. Jim passed away this week, I believe, on Tuesday. He talked about that last night at choir rehearsal. I was honestly surprised to see him at choir rehearsal last night. Bev Bruce's 98-year-old mother passed away this week.
Yes, and she was unable to get there because of the snow in
no.
New York. So, yeah, just prayers for Dwayne and Bev. I can't imagine. She wanted to be there and just couldn't get there in time.
Oh man. Flashbacks of COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mary Emmett's friend Sandy Garcia passed away last week. Prayers for the Garcia family. My aunt Nancy, she was my aunt by marriage. She passed away on Sunday. I believe it was Sunday.
I'm sorry, Ray. I hadn't heard that.
I didn't put it out there yet. So I did put out there a few months ago that my cousin Danny passed away in November. It was just his mom.
Oh.
I had not. She and my uncle divorced many years ago, and I had not been in touch with Aunt Nancy in a long time. She and I became friends on Facebook a couple of years ago, but I hadn't seen her.
Gotcha.
Probably 20 years. But my cousin Danny and his two sisters, they were very close with her, and his two sisters, the two siblings that were remaining, are devastated over the loss of their mother and their brother in such a short period. So I would appreciate prayers for them. Anybody else you want to lift up? I don't have any joys to share, except my album is coming out. I finally got my first 2 tracks. Very happy about that. I shared with Melanie just before we started that my first 2 tracks came back from my mixing engineer, and I was up all night because I was listening to it.
Can you forward them to us?
Not yet, because they're not final.
Okay.
I had a lot of notes. So that's why I kept listening to them, and I send them back. He's updating them. And then I got 2 more tracks that are going out to him today. So a lot of work.
Fanalo.
Isn't that funny? It's so cute.
And my first single will be out on May 5th. And Martin and I were talking last night. His CD is completely mixed now. So a lot going on. So should we have a word of prayer?
Sure.
Allison, you want to lead us?
Yeah. Just gracious God, we start with a lot of gratitude for just the people who are part of our lives and our church community and all the things that we're doing and want to do and are inspired to do. But we also gather each week and share some of the sorrows in our lives. And I just humbly ask, oh God, that you just help us be mindful as we go out into the world, that while there are some things that we know that are going on in people's lives, there's a lot of sorrow that is hidden or not spoken. So just help us go out and be kind and loving and caring and be the beloved community that Reverend Bickerton inspired us to be in his message from the Council of Bishops. We're just grateful that we have so many resources, as Pastor Melanie shared, and just inspire us every day to continue being the eyes, ears, hands, and feet of Jesus. And we humbly ask this prayer in the name of your Son, Jesus the Christ. Amen.
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 Melanie, I'm sorry, it dawned on me a couple minutes ago. I didn't ask you how your talk went on Sunday, the Bash passages.
Oh, yeah, that was great. We had about 40 people show up.
Oh, wow.
yeah, everybody was so insightful and had questions, and it was really it was good. It was really good. They have asked for me to put those passages in the lantern. And I'm going to include some websites. I didn't have time for the turnaround to get it in this week by Tuesday. So I will do it this coming week with some links where you can read more about each passage. But yeah, it was a meaningful conversation.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
It looked like a good group.
I love when people are sharing and asking questions and providing insight. You know, it was meaningful. I appreciate all the people who contributed and were a part of it.
Good. I heard good things about it, so I just wanted
good.
to bring it up.
Good.
That's all that I've got this week, unless either of you have anything else you want to talk about. We will remind everybody our service is at 9:30 on Sunday. Join us online or in person, and find our website at loomismethodist.org. It'll be somewhere on the screen, wherever I feel like putting it today when I hit it. And come join us. We would just love to have you. If you are following us online, send us a message. Let us know. I get some comments on the YouTube page, and sometimes they're not scammers. Sometimes they're not scammers. We do occasionally we get comments that are, hey, click on this link and you will have a Ukraine beauty for your very own.
Oh no!
So I have to go out and clean those up every week. But please,
thanks for doing that.
Yes, I wouldn't know how to do that. So
you just go, just report it as spam. But again, leave us a message. Let us know you're watching. We would love to hear from you and share with us, and follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. We got all the things going on.
We love our online community. You're part of us.
Yes.
Write to us. Let us know you're there.
And that's all I got. So I'm sorry we're late this week, but I think it was worth the wait, being able to talk about the bishop's message and everything else going on. So I will see you two on Sunday morning.
Okay.
Or no, we'll see you Saturday night.
Oh, that's right. I'll see you at the dinner tomorrow night. Woo! Can't wait. All diets are off. Love you both.
Fasting for Lent, you're in trouble.
Yes, you are.
Oh, that's true.
And Allison, I'm glad you got to join us today, even though you were a little late.
I was at the church. I'm going back there. I'm going to cover the office for a little bit.
All righty. Love you both. Talk to you on Sunday.
Bye.
Or tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.